And then I know that you're going to go, well, I want to hear your response, because it's like, wow, this guy gets it. He said, "Dear brother bishops and all my beloved people of God, last year in the National March for Life, I spoke to you about the reality of the culture of death through contraception in our country. We reflected on Casti Connubii, oh yeah, had the encyclical of Pope Pius the Ninth on chaste wedlock, written in 1930. And I also mentioned about Humanae Vitae, the encyclical of Pope Paul VI, written in 68. This year, I wish to address a more specific evil, the tragedy of abortion that is destroying our families." He said this: "Many people, especially those in position of authority," he nails it. He says, "politicians, bishops, priests, religious, lawmakers, members of judiciary, and medical professionals remain ignorant of the slaughter of over 46,000 children are killed every day in India. That's 1 every 2 seconds. A child becomes a victim of abortion. Even as I speak now, other innocent life is being lost. One of the primary responsibilities of a bishop," this guy gets it. Listen to what he says. "Priest is to teach, govern, and sanctify. Sadly, many of us shy away from fulfilling this duty." Oh boy, is he getting it. "Many of are unaware of the responsibility to speak out for those who cannot speak." And then he quoted Proverbs 31. And then he says on May 18th, 2025, Pope Leo in his homily said, "It is the responsibility of bishops as successors of the apostles and shepherds of Christ's flock to be first to cast their net into the sea and become fishers of families." He further emphasized that the laity are also called to participate in this mission, to become alongside the ordained ministers, fishers of couples of young people, children, women, and men of all ages and circumstances, so that they may all encounter the one Savior, Jesus Christ. So he says, I'm echoing Pope Leo's homily, and he said, again, it's the responsibility of bishops as successors, apostles, shepherds, to be first to cast their net into the sea and become fishers of families. He further emphasized that the laity are also called to this mission. Father, I kind of see that that's what we're doing right here on Virgin Most Powerful Radio. You're a priest. I'm a layman. And we're trying to bring the teachings of Christ to as many people as possible.
Can you imagine? With 3,000 bishops in the world, this is a breath of fresh air to hear a bishop speak.
It's normal. It should be normal.
Well, it's like Bishop Strickland.
Yeah.
Every time I hear him speak, I feel renewed. I feel renewed. I keep saying to myself, "There's hope. There's hope.
Yeah.
There is a voice in the wilderness crying, 'Prepare ye the way of the Lord.'" Yes. And I'm glad to hear they've got this bishop there. Well, seems to be a bishop almost in every nation, one in every nation. Yeah. Who's sort of been outcast by his brother bishops.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's speaking the truth.
Yeah. And Father, Bishop St. John Paul II said the way the family goes is the way the culture goes. And family life is devastated with the culture of death when it comes to contraception. I noticed that he quoted Casti Connubii. I got to tell you, maybe you didn't know this, but almost 40 years ago, my wife and I read two things. One, 3 to Get Married, which you're not surprised, by Bishop Sheen. But Casti Connubii on marriage, we also read together. And I've been promoting those two documents for people who are planning to get married, that they should read those two. Am I missing a third element? Because those two got me.
I know. Casti Connubii by Pius the 11th.
The 11th.
Is fine, and 3 to Get Married by Fulton Sheen. What else do you need?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for years.
Well, you need a bride.
Yeah,
that's about all you're missing. That's it.
And Father, what on the practical level, spiritual side too, practical, spiritual, and that is praying for our leaders and making reparation, because we see as lay people constantly things that are being done in the church, and we're scratching our bald heads, at least for you and I, and saying,
"Speak for yourself, Terry."
I knew you'd say that. I love that. I set you up for that. But the question is, what can we do as the members of the church who are not in management? I mean, I remember Monsignor George Kelly told us, you and I, personally, I know he told you this and he told me this in his book. He said, where's the church going? Where its leaders take them.
Right. Well, first of all, there's so much negative going around, so much negative news and everything.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little sprinkle of good news
I need it.
on this very issue.
Yeah.
Our president, Donald J. Trump, prohibited, you're hearing it correctly,
Yes.
prohibited, what is that? I can't read
No,
it.
you're going to say it. I think I'm reading your mind. Go ahead. Prohibited. Go ahead.
Oh, prohibited an entire shipment
That's exactly what this says. I read your mind.
contraceptives.
$10 million worth.
Contraceptive. Yes.
It's right here.
Can you, and listen
me.
to this. You talk about the audacity of those in power.
Yes.
They say, well, it expired.
Yeah.
The dates expired on the contraceptives. Let's give them to the Africans.
Jeez. Can you imagine?
And yeah, they don't have to imagine it. They're crazy. It's amazing. But Donald J. Trump said, no, they're to be burned. This started with a Catholic president.
Yep.
It started with John F. Kennedy. There was a whole scandal, if you remember correctly. We were sending milk, powdered milk,
I remember.
down to America, to Latin America, all over Latin America, and to part of Africa, and it was laced with contraceptives.
Unbelievable.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And this was the Catholic president. So politics has no God. It really doesn't. And when you see some of the politicians who are today finally speaking like moral men and women, wow, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to hear.
Well, I think it's ironic though, because this article was on my list to tell. When you were speaking, I said, I bet I know what he's gonna. I did it. Yeah. Here's my point. President Trump is not even Catholic, okay? And there's been several times in his political life where he sounds like a bishop when he's promoting people like Bishop Sheen in his garden, or he's talking about destroying $10 million worth of contraception and abortion that was going to go to Africa. I got to tell you this, Father. When I read that article, I said to myself, I wonder how many people in our church leaders saw that as a benefit, or said, "Wow,
I hear you.
he's." You know what I'm saying? It crossed my mind. I say, "Why is he doing that? That's valuable for those poor people." I think it's gone that far. Where if you remember, Father, Saint Charles Borromeo, one of your favorite saints, in the 16th century, he actually was encouraging the government to step in and tell priests, act like priests, bishops, act like bishops, do your job. And I'm almost thinking that time has come again. Am I onto something?
Yes. And what he was doing, what Charles Borromeo was doing, was pushing that the government intervened, because the government paid the priest's salary.
Yes.
So they had influence over the priest. Yeah, somebody should be. I don't know what you're going to do. We need a spiritual renewal.
We do.
Really of the Catholic Church to begin with.
Yeah.
And then after that we can talk about the world.